comme ça. And welcome to a new video. Today is not a vlog, it's a video. It's gonna be different than the usual ones, but I feel that this one is gonna be special. And you know what? It's because it's gonna be about the routine I've been talking about on Instagram for quite a while, and I hope you guys are excited because it's gonna be lots of information today. So let's jump right in. In today's fast-paced world, it's no secret that many of us find ourselves caught in the chaos of a messy, disorganized life. The traditional notion of following a schedule has become a rarity as we juggle countless responsibilities, distractions, and competing priorities. However, it is precisely in these moments of chaos that the significance of a well-crafted routine emerges. For decades, I've been searching for the perfect daily routine that could provide me with ultimate energy, strength, focus, happiness, and overall efficiency. Finally, I have unlocked all those keys and find the perfect routine to live the life I've been dreaming about. In this video, I'm gonna share all the details about it with you. If you clicked on this video, I assume you're already familiar with Dr. Andrew Huberman. If not, Andrew Huberman is a neuroscientist from the Stanford School and the host of his worldwide known podcast, The Huberman Lab. He is offering science-based tools to help people sleep better, work more efficiently, calm their minds, unlock their creativity, balance their hormones, and breathe correctly, amongst many other things. This man's knowledge is endless and will undoubtedly benefit your life positively, as it did for me. The routine I'm about to share with you today is something I have been developing over the past month with the help of my friend Fredrik Sund, a Swedish osteopath and multiple-time Ironman finisher. We based it mainly on the routine Andrew applies to his life, as well as other facts we found after conducting deep research. And these are the 11 phases that guide my routine. Wake up, stretches and hydration, workout, breakfast, first work session, lunch, second work session, time to disconnect, dinner, wind down, and sleep. Of course, every day is different and sometimes I have to adapt my schedule. However, to maintain consistency, I have identified 3 pillars that I try to follow every day, which is waking up and going to bed at the same time, working out daily, and disconnecting from work a few hours before falling asleep. So let's jump right in and explore this routine in details. I start my day by waking up at 6 a.m. every single day, even on the weekend. I've never really been a morning person, but implementing every step of this routine into my life made me instantly appreciate the early 6 a.m. alarms. This habit is essential for me to feel fresh, to stay ahead of schedule, and to have enough time each day to accomplish everything I want to do. And as Andrew Huberman said, waking up early not only provides you with extra hours in your day, but it also sets the tone for productivity and success. Also, the trick for a smooth wake-up alarm is to use third-party apps like Sleep Cycle, for example. I have genuinely been using this app for the past 5 years. I started using it just because the Apple alarm sound just like freaked me out. Like, I mean, who doesn't get annoyed by those sounds? The app also tracks your sleep cycles just by using the ambient sound in the room when you sleep, and will calculate to wake you up at the perfect time within a window of 30 minutes. Once I'm out of the bedroom, I start the first 10 minutes of my day by stretching and doing some mobility. This has a direct positive aspect on increasing my energy level. I would then head over to the kitchen and grab a big glass of water, as well as some electrolyte drinks. Typically, what I do in the morning is I hydrate and I take an electrolyte drink. And as I am lucky to be in Bali right now, I like to start my day by drinking at least 2 or 3 big glasses of coconut water, fresh kelapa muda, as we say in Indonesian. And this is basically one of the purest electrolyte drink, and it provides you with all the minerals you need, like potassium, calcium, and magnesium. But don't worry, if you're not in Bali, you can actually just put a big teaspoon of salt, high quality salt, and also squeeze a lemon in your water, and it would probably do almost the same. Then I also like to add some creatine in my drink because I want to gain muscle, and this helps to build more muscle because it retains the water in your muscles, and it also helps for the recovery. That's why I use this every single morning. And the last step is to have a cup of coffee and also to eat my protein snack so I can have something in the belly before heading to the workout. While having my morning hydration, I usually like to stimulate my brain in an active way. I usually alternate between learning a new language, journaling, or meditating with Headspace. Once I'm done with it, it's usually the first time I switch off the Do Not Disturb mode on my iPhone to check if there is anything urgent to reply to. However, I don't want to open Instagram or any other app that simply provides my brain with free dopamine. The importance of being present and free from any distraction is major in order to stay happy and motivated. After spending 20 minutes stimulating my neurons actively and positively, and now that the caffeine started to kick in, by the way, didn't Andrew Huberman say that you should not drink coffee right after you wake up? I delay caffeine 90 to 120 minutes after I wake up. There's one exception, which is if I'm going to do a hard resistance training workout. I personally work out every day, no matter what. No excuses, no bullshit. My body and mind need it, and trust me, I've never felt healthier and happier than now. Training regularly, especially the early mornings, can be tough. However, once you make it a habit, you will start enjoying every second of it. So now let's go to the gym. I go outside and look at the rising sunshine intentionally without sunglasses or flip on bright artificial lights. Looking up to the sky and getting your eyes exposed to the light releases cortisol, which helps setting up your circadian clock, the body mechanism for anticipating when you wake up and when to go to sleep. And now that it's 7 a.m, it's time for the best part of the day, which is coming here to the gym. I'm gonna work out with Robin, who is helping me actually shoot this whole video and also edit it. So if you like it, please go check him out. Yeah, 7 a.m, time for the gym. Whether you're doing it at home or at the gym, it doesn't matter. The only thing that matters is to know what your goal is. And for me these days, my goal is to build muscles. So my training consists on doing weighted workouts. And I usually alternate between 3 different types of exercise. The first one is pull, second one is push, and the third one is leg, because you don't want to miss your leg day. And that way I get to train my entire body. So the workout is divided into 6 different exercises that I alternate by pair, and I repeat them 3 times in a row, and that usually takes me around 1 hour or something. And I can tell you at the end, you're pretty much cooked, but still full of energy for your day. Okay, now that I'm done with the workout, an hour later, it's time for one of my favorite parts, which is the recovery. I usually alternate between 10 minutes of sauna and then 2 minutes of ice bath, and the ice bath is usually under 5 degrees Celsius. Okay, I know that many recent studies have shown that doing the ice bath after the workout is actually not really beneficial, because being exposed to the cold activates some vasoconstriction, which is going against the vasodilatation that actually occurs when you're working out, which, yeah, will not really help. So if you would have to do ice bath, I would recommend to do it before the workout, but I just love the feeling so much when I'm done with the sauna. My body is so warm, I'm still sweating, and I need to cool it down. So ice bath it is, or cold shower if I don't have an ice bath. And the combination of these activities not only provides me with physical benefit, but it really gives me that feeling of great accomplishment. And as Andrew Huberman said, cold and heat exposure, particularly in the context of exercise, can be very beneficial for a number of reasons. Of course, if you don't have access to a sauna or cold plunge, the warm and the cold water from a shower can also do a bit of work. And if the cold exposure is something you hate, it's just because you haven't been exposed enough. 3 years ago, I decided to become more adapted to the cold water, so I decided to always finish my showers with the coldest water. No tepid water, always the coldest. Trust me, depending on where you are in the world, it can be very, very cold. And if you've ever tried it yourself, even just for a few seconds, you surely have felt the freshness feeling it gives you afterwards. The first 6 months of trying it were not easy, and I debated more than once, but never failed. After 6 months, my brain finally started to value the reward of feeling refreshed over the effort required to actually take the cold shower. And since then, I have never missed a single cold rinse. And as Andrew Huberman said, big surges in dopamine that are long-lasting, that you can induce with deliberate cold exposure, are a huge elevator for mood and alertness and well-being throughout the day. Back home at 9 a.m, it's time to ingest the first real meal of the day, as well as the last coffee of the day. Yes, the last coffee of the day. What? Last coffee of the day? Caffeine takes much longer to disappear from your body than you actually think. If you ingest caffeine at noon, 25% of its effect, more or less, is going to be bioactive 12 hours later, so at midnight that night, which will
disrupt the early phase of
your night. I like to cook my own breakfast. I know that in Bali you have so many good options to go out and have breakfast, but I know exactly what I want, and I also want it to be pretty efficient, and I know I can cook a very good breakfast within 10 minutes. So that's why I cook my breakfast. I currently eat a bit of everything. I've been vegan when I was in 2021 in Lombok. These days I'm not too picky. I just make sure to have a big intake of protein as well as lots of vitamins. Of course, we're all made differently, and as much as I tend to digest very well and also not gain weight too much, I know that some people are struggling with the opposite, and I guess you should just adapt your diet to your needs. This would require a full video just talking about foods and diet, so I'm not gonna go too much into detail. But right now what I eat for these breakfasts is usually 3 eggs, some avocado and cheese, some local fruits, papaya, pineapple, and passion fruits and banana, some yogurt, and also some overnight oats and chia seeds, which is very nice to keep me full all the way until lunch. And I know this is quite a lot of food, but since I just came back from the gym, I can eat like an elephant. Bon appétit. Bon appétit. It's now roughly 9:30 a.m. and it's time for the first work session of the day. During the next 4.5 hours, I'll be able to focus exclusively on work, allowing me to be both productive and creative. Being creative is a big part of my job, and it also requires my full attention and a big part of my brain capacity. Therefore, I prioritize the creative task in the morning, since it is the time of the day where I'm the most focused and energized. During this time slot, I usually script, film, or edit my next videos, or come up with new concepts, or work on creative project for C'est Normal, for example, or for some other clients. I don't have a set amount of time I follow to work and stay focused and productive, but instead I follow my instinct. I can usually work for hours without really stopping, but I remember to take a few breaks here and there whenever I feel like it. And I also remember to drink plenty of water, which is also a good excuse to get away from the desk for a few seconds. Cheers, you can never have too many coconuts. In terms of working setup, I recently just started using a proper motorized desk with an external screen, which makes a massive difference in terms of productivity and overall comfort. I like to start in standing configuration, also to help digesting my breakfast, and later alternate between standing and sitting position. By the way, I didn't even buy this setup. The company Mindset here in Bali is renting these setup for a very good price. During this workload, the key is to stay focused. Every time your brain wanders around, like thinking about different things, it takes you too many valuable minutes to enter a fully focused state again. And the key I found to eliminate any distraction is to turn on the Do Not Disturb mode on my iPhone. It is by far one of my favorite features on the iPhone, and I use it all the time, even when I'm not working actually. It basically keeps your phone and its signal on, but just block any notification from appearing on your screen. Therefore, you will be so much less tempted to check your phone and especially end up on Instagram without knowing why or how. We all did it once. And you can also customize the mode so your close friends or your family can actually reach out to you.
Okay. Next day.
You too. Bye. Oh, it's lunchtime. And now that it's 2 p.m., it's lunchtime. And as you can see, I liked my lunch to be a bit diverse. I usually order food from restaurants because I want to be as efficient as possible. And I like when my plate is with lots of diversity. So for today's lunch, I have a local caught barramundi, some broccoli, eggs again, rice, coriander and parsley, and some beetroot sauce under. Since I have the chance to be in a place where it is sunny, I like to also eat outside to be able to catch as much of that vitamin D as possible. So yeah, if you can, definitely eat outside under the sun. It is very nice. Okay, Once I'm done with my lunch, I will usually alternate between tanning or reading a book or meditating using Headspace, which is actually today's sponsor of the video. And I'm so glad they are keen on collaborating because today is all about improving your life, and I believe that Headspace is simply one of the greatest apps you could have on your phone. If you're like me and your brain doesn't stop easily, one of the quickest, most efficient way to relax is to meditate. I've never really been good at like self-meditation, but I believe that guided meditation is actually the best option, whether you're like a beginner or even if you're advanced into meditating. With Headspace, you can meditate whether you're just chilling at home, like me for example right now, or at the office, or when you take public transport, basically anywhere. Headspace makes meditation easy by teaching you simple techniques to improve your focus and overall mental health. Meditating will allow you in just a few minutes to calm you down, reset your brain, and completely feel fresh from the inside. And when I tried it at first, it really felt like a fail. Like my mind was still all over the place and everything, but the more I meditate, the quieter my mind became, which was pretty cool. And recently, my good friend Thomas Bragg from the YouTube channel Yesterday just recorded his very own meditation within the app in the theme of seeking discomfort. That makes me want to meditate even more. So if you want to see how Headspace might be helpful for you, you can try it out completely for free for 60 days. And all you have to do is to sign up with the link in my description or scan the QR code that is right now on the screen. Okay, now I'm gonna meditate with my friend Thomas.
Hi, Thomas here. Welcome to this moment of reflection and journaling on our journey of seeking discomfort.
It is now time for the second work session of the day. We won't go too much into details, but in the afternoon I usually work 3 hours. At this time, my priority is to complete as much of what I call the organizational task as possible. Basically, this includes tasks that don't require much of my brain power, such as responding to emails, attending meetings, scheduling social posts, checking analytics, etc. Let's not go too much into details here. Instead, let's fast forward 3 hours to when things get more exciting. After spending so much time in front of a screen, I need to disconnect. Otherwise, I could end up all night long. Do you seriously think I want that? For decades, we have heard that you can only reach the ultimate success in life by working your ass off 22 hours a day, 7 days a week, while neglecting your health and relationships. But trust me, this only is a recipe for burnout and depression. Working smartly will always beat working endlessly. Amongst all my successful friends, there's not a single one of them who hasn't understood and applied this already. I strongly believe that the keys to a happy life are being able to enjoy what you do while having some free time to discover yourself, as well as to share your experiences with your loved ones. So now don't feel bad about taking some time off. We all need it. We are not AI robots yet. Go out and do the things you like the most, and you will see that's very often when you will take your best life decisions. Now that it's 5:30 here in Bali, it's time to completely disconnect from work, but connect with some friends, meet some new friends, create connections basically, and eventually, if you love what you do, you can still work a little bit. So we might shoot a bit of stuff. Jacob and Aggie here are on Jacob's new bike, so there's gonna be a little bit of a shooting on the beach. Hello guys! So freaking cool, look at this. I mean, it is sunset. Bam! Boom!
Make sure to subscribe to Benni's channel.
Thank you so much.
Well, if they're watching it, then they might already be subscribed. But if they're not,
please subscribe. There we go. Okay, let's shoot some more. I'm gonna fly the avatar now. After an hour of pure disconnection, 6:30 is the time I would usually have my last meal of the day. Voila! Want some lemon? For my whole life, I've been eating much later, usually between 8:30 to 9:30 p.m. without considering the fact that it was so close to my bedtime. Heading to sleep with your belly full is definitely not recommended. In the first hours of your sleep, your body will spend so much time digesting your food instead of really activating some of the most vital function of your metabolism, such as tissue repair, muscle growth, and the release of growth hormones. In addition, eating early allows my body to remain free from any food intakes for the next 14 hours and 30 minutes, which is close to the average recommended intermittent fasting period. Similar to my lunches, as you can see here, for dinner I have a bit of everything from tomato and burrata to barramundi and chicken parmigiana with some potatoes, because I like variety. But I'm not gonna eat everything by myself, of course, because Robin here, who helps me filming the video, is gonna share with me. Because of course you should not eat too much in the evenings as well, except if you want to be 85 like Robin. Tomorrow! How many of you have sleeping issues? Please leave a comment down under, and especially if you find a solution to solve it. Nowadays, the human brain is active almost 24/7. That's why it is so important to disconnect from any stimulation source as early as possible, and why I personally choose something as early as 5:30 p.m. It is the one thing that I've been struggling the most with since my professional and personal life have been too connected. Just try to remind yourself that when you're not done with a work task, most of the time you can probably finish it the following day. One of the most efficient ways to disconnect is to meditate. And that's why if my brain still is too active at this time, I like to do another meditation session or read a book. Also in the evening, try to use as little bright artificial light as possible. So in the evening, I'm switching to red light and it's cool. It gives the house a nice tone and it makes it much easier to fall asleep. 9:30, it is the time to set the foundation of this routine. It's so important that I should actually start this whole video with the actual time I'm going to bed. Sleep that is getting enough quality sleep each night is the foundation.
It is the bedrock
Of mental health, physical health, and performance. Sleep and the power of sleep far exceed any nootropic you could ever take,
any prescription drug you could ever take,
any health promoting tool for your immune system, your metabolism, your mental function, your physical function you could ever take.
Sleep is the bedrock.
9:30 is the time where I would usually try to hit the bed on a regular basis. Of course, I have my night out sometimes. Other than that, 9:30 it is, and I try to be asleep before 10. Trust me, the early and especially the regular time in bed will absolutely set everything else throughout your whole day. So that's why it is so important. From your mood to your physical and mental performances, cognition, and the ability to make decisions, this is the bedrock of the foundation of this routine. Absolutely everything will benefit from this bedtime, so don't miss it. I know it might sound early, but with just a few tries, you can feel the ease of waking up at 6 a.m. full of energy. It doesn't cost anything to try. Give yourself a full week and see if anything changes in your life. Of course, I'm not asking you to become antisocial. I still like to go out with my friends, but I tend to be more selective in choosing the nights when I actually want to go out and party properly. And this allows me to enjoy those nights even more. What I like to remind myself often is that anything extreme in life is not healthy by default. Life is all about maintaining a healthy balance. So I hope this routine inspires you to incorporate some healthy habits into your daily routine. Remember, small changes can make a big difference. It's important to prioritize your health, both physical and mental. By implementing a routine like this one, you can start to feel energized, focused, and productive. It's all about finding what works for you and sticking with it. Don't be afraid to adapt your routine to fit your own lifestyle, but always remember to prioritize the three main pillars of consistency, which are waking up and going to bed at the same time, working out daily, and disconnecting from work hours before falling asleep. With a little discipline and perseverance, you can achieve anything you set your mind to. So get out there and start living the life you've always dreamt of. And by the way, don't forget to subscribe. See you in the next video, which is gonna be pretty nice.